How to make people respect you without saying a word. What if I told you that the most powerful people in history rarely raised their voice? That the most respected figures didn't chase applause. They drew it in, silently. Imagine entering a room, not speaking, not performing, and yet everyone subtly adjusts themselves. They stop scrolling. They shift in their seats. They notice you. Not because you demanded attention, but because your energy took up space. This isn't charisma in the modern sense. No artificial smiles or cheap tricks. It's something deeper, something older. It's gravitas, the weight of presence, the ability to command respect without noise throughout history. The greatest minds understood this. The Stoics believed that virtue and strength are best shown through stillness. Samurai mastered the art of fudoshin, the immovable mind. Even in religious tradition, prophets were remembered for their composure, not for chaos. So how can you become that kind of person? Let's begin with your energy. Energy speaks louder than any speech. If your thoughts are chaotic, people feel it even before you say a word. But when your inner world is calm, others sense that too. They feel safe, or challenged, or intrigued. That's silent power. Your first tool is your body language. You don't need to be a giant or have model-like features. You need presence. Stand like someone who doesn't need to be anywhere else. Breathe like you own your time. Look people in the eye without tension, not to dominate, but to simply exist fully in that moment. This kind of presence is rare. That's why it stands out. Second, master your reactions. People who explode at every insult, who rush to explain themselves, who speak just to fill space, they leak power. But those who can pause, those who can let silence do the heavy lifting, they become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. Because people can't manipulate what they don't understand. Remember, the first to speak loses leverage. The first to react loses control. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means discipline. There's an old saying, the calmer you are, the more time slows down around you. In conflict, the loudest person usually loses the most. But the quiet one, the still one, they become the center of gravity. Others start orbiting around them. Third, speak less and speak with purpose. We live in a world where people talk endlessly. We're drowning in opinions, rants, and noise. But here's the truth. The more you speak, the less people value your words. Silence creates scarcity. Scarcity creates value. If you only speak when something truly matters, your words will hit harder, echo longer, and carry weight others only dream of. In fact, watch the most respected people in any field. They rarely explain themselves. They don't need to. Their actions do it for them. Their presence fills the space where words would only weaken the message. People respect that. Deeply. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to fake it. They try to act mysterious or stoic as a performance. It doesn't work. Why? Because true presence, true respect, isn't about performing. It's about who you are when no one's watching. You don't gain silent authority by learning lines. You gain it by doing hard things, quietly, repeatedly, by knowing your values, by controlling your emotions, by building a life that doesn't require defending. The man or woman who doesn't need to prove themselves is already ahead of 90% of the world. Now let's talk about something deeper. The fear of being misunderstood. Many people overshare because they're afraid of being judged incorrectly. But here's the paradox. The more you explain, the more judgment you attract. People don't respect those who beg to be understood. They respect those who are fine being misunderstood if needed, because their compass is internal, not social. If someone doesn't get you, let them not get you. If someone doubts you, let time prove them wrong. If someone mocks your silence, let your results echo louder than their laughter. Let's go even further. Consider solitude. Some of the most powerful people are comfortable being alone. Not lonely, alone. They don't fear silence because they've made peace with it. They don't need constant validation because they've validated themselves. They don't fear rejection because they've already accepted who they are. And from that place, a place of quiet self-trust, comes something irresistible. A presence that doesn't shout. A presence that doesn't ask for respect. A presence that simply commands it. You want respect? Build a life you don't need to brag about. Say less. Do more. Don't post your plans. Post your results. Be the person who doesn't just talk about books, but lives the wisdom inside them. Be the one who doesn't rush to speak, because they're too busy listening. Not because they're shy, but because they know silence is where truth lives. Let others race to be loud. Let others fight for attention. You, be still, be steady, be silent, because in the end, the loudest person in the room is rarely the most respected, but the quiet one, the one whose silence feels like presence. That's the person people remember. That's the person people want to follow, and that can be you.